In Genesis 50:20, Joseph sees his brothers for the first time after they've sold him into slavery, and he tells them what they intended for evil, God used for good. And that is still true for people today, and you're about to meet a sex trafficking survivor who has an amazing story of how God really used pain in her life to change the lives of many people.
It's what I do. I love to do it. And I'm really good at it too.
Sheila Simpkins helps women escape trafficking.
I'm like the initial person that they meet because I had the same history as them for the majority of the women. And so what I normally do is I try to build that trust.
She has her own story of abuse and hope.
I come from a very dysfunctional family. My mom got divorced from my dad when I was like 3 months old, and had been married 4 times by the time I was 14 years old. And at the age of 6, I started getting molested by my mom and different men that she would bring home.
Simpkins says at age 14, she had gotten tired of what was going on at home and ran away. It was then she had her first experience being trafficked for sex.
I met a boy who I really thought was my boyfriend. I really did, you know. It felt like he was my boyfriend. I was getting love that I wasn't getting at home. I was getting a different kind of love that I was not able to get at home. I wasn't getting beat up at the time. In the beginning of it, I wasn't getting beat up. And the next thing you know, I need you to do me a favor. You just do this one time, because right now we're broke. And it just kind of went on like that.
Simpkins was put in different group homes and her boyfriend was later killed. She began prostituting herself to pay for a bad addiction she had developed.
And so I started working in a strip club as a waitress, and it led into me stripping and stuff. And that's whenever I met this really beautiful guy. He was beautiful, and he sold me a dream. And the next thing you know, I was being trafficked across the country.
Simpkins says it was then she felt like she was really being trafficked because she was unable to get away from the pimp.
He was out there watching us, and if I didn't make a certain amount of money, I'd get my head busted open.
Eventually, Simpkins knew she needed out.
I just had enough, okay? You get to a place where, okay, fear keeps you locked there, okay? I was done, you know. I just wasn't willing to do it anymore, and I was willing to accept whatever I had to accept to get away. And this was my going away gift, is this scar right here, this scar right here, this scar right here. And I was done. But my reality is that I still stayed on the streets. I stayed on the streets for about 7 more years because I had my addiction. That I was still feeding.
In 2004, Sheila says she hit rock bottom and got herself into a program for several years.
Whenever I first got clean, I had real bad resentments towards God because I could not understand why He allows such bad things to happen to such innocent children, you know? But I've come to realize, and I'm okay with it now, you know, it's all part of the plan. And I thank Him now, because guess what? My life is really, really good.
Today, Simpkins is a wife, a mother, and intervention specialist at End Slavery, Tennessee. She works devotedly to save women in hopes that they won't have to go through all the things that she has experienced.
I just think that it's what I'm supposed to do. Right. You know, I really do, because sometimes I just think it's what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. I think that God had a plan for me, you know, and this was my plan. And so kind of like my whole past kind of makes sense now. Okay, okay, all right, now I get it. Okay, now I get it.
For Bridges, I'm Rachel Markin.